channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Happy Sunday, everyone. For today's video, I have a few thrift flips for you. These are relatively simple flips. I had to kind of keep them easy this go around because behind the scenes, I've also been working on a couple bigger projects that I'm hoping to get finished. So hopefully those will be in a future video. But I do love how today's projects turned out. I hope you guys like them too. And without further ado, let's get to today's video. I picked up these two crosses not too terribly long ago at the Goodwill, and I really wasn't excited about the way they were decorated, but I did think that they would be perfect to add into one of my Christmas displays. So I went ahead and picked both of them up and decided to give them makeovers. Now for Christmas, I do a lot of neutrals, and these crosses are going to be no exception. So for the first one, I started by giving it a coat of just some white spray paint as a base coat to cover up the black. And then I am going in with DIY's Crinoline, which is one of my favorite creamy neutrals. I started with my brush that I usually use to paint furniture and whatnot. I quickly decided that wasn't the route I wanted to go. So I went and grabbed one of my horsehair brushes, which is a little bit stiffer, so that I could stipple that paint on and not have any brushstroke marks. So I'm just going over the entire cross with two good coats of the crinoline, and again I'm stippling or pouncing the paint on. Now, if you've never used DIY paint before, it is a clay-based, all-natural paint that does require a sealer. And for this particular project, I decided to go ahead and seal my paint with some clear wax to start. So I grabbed one of my softer bristle brushes and my DIY clear wax, and I am just going over the entire piece, making sure that I'm getting that wax into all of the nooks and crannies, and then I'm wiping back the excess very carefully with a dry shop towel. Then to really make the details stand out on this piece, I decided to go in with some DIY dark wax. And the reason I put the clear wax on first was it helps to create kind of a barrier between the dark wax and my paint so that my paint doesn't end up too terribly muddy when I wipe back the excess dark wax. It just leaves a beautiful kind of light brown patina to that crinoline and really sinks down into all of the nooks and crannies and makes them more apparent so that they really stand out well. One thing that I like to do as well when I'm applying my dark wax is to keep some mineral spirits on hand. I like to use mineral spirits to thin the dark wax just a little bit so that it goes on more like a glaze, as you see here, and a little less thick and chunky like it comes naturally. It just makes it a little easier to wash off or to wipe back the excess, and I think it goes on a little bit more smoothly that way. Now, of course, Christmas isn't really Christmas without some gold, so I decided to go over the details in this cross with some gold wax by Redesign with Prima. The color is called Eternal, and I'm just dipping the tip of my finger into the wax and then gently smoothing that over the details and onto a few of the larger places as well to just add a touch of glimmer and shine to this cross. I love the way the gold really brings out the detail in this cross, and I hope you guys like it too. For the second cross, we're also going to keep it neutral, but I'm going to start this one by giving it a coat of Rustoleum Espresso spray paint, which is this dark brown. Once the espresso paint is completely dry, I'm going in with 2 coats of another neutral that I love by DIY. This one is called Faded Burlap. It's a beautiful kind of taupey beige color, and it fits in perfectly with my neutral Christmas colors. And once again, I'm stippling or pouncing the paint on so that I have a nice cohesive finish throughout the entire piece. For this cross, I decided to really bring the detail out by doing some wet distressing. It's one of the things I love about DIY paint is that since it is water-based, it is very easy to wet distress. You simply wet a rag, or in my case, a shop towel, and just go over the areas you want to distress and wipe back the top coat of paint to reveal what's underneath. I absolutely love this effect. It's a perfect way, again, to just bring out the detail and make them really shine. And now I know distressing isn't for everyone, so if you don't like the look of distressing, you can absolutely just skip this step. Once I was finished distressing, I let my paint dry completely before going in and sealing my paint. Again, with this cross, I'm starting with a coat of DIY's clear wax, and I'm just kind of working in sections, starting at the bottom, working my way up to the top with that wax and wiping back the excess very gently with a dry shop towel as I go. And again here, I am going to highlight those details even more with a layer of DIY's dark wax. But you can see here, I thinned it out pretty well with some mineral spirits. And to do that, I just dip my brush into the mineral spirits and then kind of pat that into the wax until I get the consistency I want. And then I simply go over my painted piece with that mixture. I just brush it on as usual and then carefully wipe it back with my dry shop towel. Now with the distressing that I did and wiping back the clear and the dark wax, I distressed in parts down to the original finish, which brought out some of the shiny gold from underneath. So I really didn't have to add any gold wax to this, which was nice. And I love the way that it came out. And I really hope you guys do too. My third and final project for today is this frame that I've had in my stash for a long time now. And I went ahead and took the guts of it out and then realized the back was entirely covered with my cat's hair. So before I could get started, I went ahead and grabbed some blue painter's tape and got rid of as much of that hair as I possibly could to clean up the back of my frame. Then I got out my DIY golden ticket. This is a liquid patina, so it's actually a top coat, and I started painting that on. I decided really quickly though that I didn't like painting it necessarily. I wanted more of a pouncy brush, so I grabbed a different brush, and I'm going in with kind of a swirly pouncy motion so that none of that patina is gummed up or stuck in any of the details on my frame. You can see here the patina is pretty thin, so it took me 3 good coats to completely cover my frame. This is the second one going on, and then here in a second, here's the third. And you can see after the third coat, I have a nice, beautifully gold frame. Now for this project, I wanted to stick with my neutral color palette, but I wanted something a little bit darker. So I picked DIY's color called Layered Chocolate. And rather than going in with a full coat of the layered chocolate, I am doing kind of a heavy dry brush, I guess. So I'm dipping my brush into the paint lightly and then pouncing most of the paint back off before going in and painting over the gold. I'm not going for a complete coverage here. I want a little bit of that gold still shining through. And then once my paint is dry, I'm going in and doing more distressing, just wet distressing to get more of that detail and that gold shining through that layered chocolate paint. Once I was happy with my distressing and my paint was again dry, it was time to go in and, you guessed it, seal my paint. And as usual, I'm starting off with a coat of DIY's clear wax. Now, I did go over the clear wax with some dark wax. I honestly can't tell you if it made any difference in the paint at all, but once I got started, I was committed, so I went ahead and finished it over the entire piece. Once that was done, I moved to working on my artwork. For that, I'm using a piece of the brand new Redesign with Prima release. This one is called Winter's Grace. It's one of the new A4 size papers. And before I put it in, I'm starting with steaming out the wrinkles. They always come with some of them, and I think that steaming is the easiest way to get rid of them. Then I went ahead and used my paper cutter to cut my decoupage paper to size. And of course, you have to clean your glass. And so I got that done, and then it was just time to put everything together. I absolutely love the way that this project turned out, you guys. The layered chocolate is perfect with the pine cones. The gold brings out some of the gold in the picture, and it is just so, so pretty. And I hope you guys like it as much as I do. That is it from here for today, you guys. I hope you liked my projects and I hope you enjoyed today's video. What did you think of the beautiful picture frame makeover? I absolutely love how that came together. I was a little leery, I guess, about using the gold underneath the brown, but I really love the result. I think that's definitely something that I'll keep in my mind and do in the future again at some point. And I think it really went well with that paper, kind of pulled out that dark chocolatey color from the pine cones in the decoupage paper, which I love. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then of course, don't forget to drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of my projects for today. Just a quick reminder too, the paint and products you see me use can be purchased through me at my website at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. I do carry the DIY paint and products. Also, I carry Sweet Pickins milk paint and products, as well as some Recycled Treasures decoupage papers, and of course, Redesign with Prima. So go check those out there. For Thursday's video, I am hoping to have one of the bigger projects finished for that video. Fingers crossed. So I hope you'll join me back here on Thursday for that. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and beginning of the week. Thank you guys so much for being here. I always appreciate it, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye.